Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at this World of Halo scale Mongoose with Master Chief. Now, I picked this up for a couple different reasons. The main one being is I wanted to see if it would work with my G.I. Joe collection, because I actually have a World of Halo scale Warthog that I have in my G.I. Joe display, and it looks really good. I think the scale might be slightly off because we're talking 3 3/4 inch figures versus I think 4-inch figures. So they're slightly big, but with the Warthog, you don't even notice it. And I kind of wanted to see if this would work as well. The other reason was because I found it on Amazon for Cyber Monday for $8. And for $8, like, kind of hard to pass that up, especially if I just want to see if it'll work in scale with my other stuff. So I grabbed it, and here we have it. And so, of course, we've got the Mongoose and Master Chief in there. You see we've got the rocket launcher. Not much here on the packaging. We do have a picture of Master Chief there on the back. And that's really it. That's what we've got here as far as the package goes. So let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and see what we've got. Alright, so real quick, because I mentioned the Warthog, I wanted to show you guys what the Warthog looks like on my display. So you can see here we've got a couple of G.I. Joe 25th anniversary era Joes there. We got Duke and a custom that I had thrown together, and I think it looks really good. Again, the Halo stuff is slightly bigger, but not much. Again, we may be talking about 4-inch scale versus 3 3/4 inch, so it might be a little bit big, but I think it looks pretty good. Just to give you guys an idea of what something like this would look like. And because it's all militaristic, it's very G.I. Joe looking, and it looks great on my display. Now, this one in particular costs about $40 if you go to pick this up. I got this as a Christmas present a couple of years ago and just kind of worked it into my G.I. Joe display. So if you wanted to pick it up, you're going to drop $40 on this thing on Amazon and places like that, but that's still a lot cheaper than a lot of the Joe stuff that's out there, especially for the level of detail in this thing with rubber tires and everything. I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, let's go ahead, get back to the Mongoose and see how it looks. Alright, so we got gung-ho here on the Mongoose, and I will say that the size difference, to me anyway, is more noticeable on the Mongoose than it is back here on the Warthog. Primarily because he can't really sit on the seat and grab the handlebars at the same time. Just isn't able to do that. So you got to kind of hunch him forward to get him to grab hold of the handlebars. If it wasn't for that, I don't think it's really noticeable at all. Now, that being said, that's not a deal breaker for me. This is probably how I'm going to display it on the shelf. I'm going to have gung-ho riding on the Mongoose, and I think overall it still looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like a very large ATV for him, but I mean, come on, military, whatever. I don't care. We can pretend like it works. And of course, you can see we have the figures here, the Halo figures there. One that came with the Mongoose, one that came with the Warthog, and they actually go really well with G.I. Joes, considering the fact that Master Chief is supposed to be like 7 foot something, and he's a little bit taller than the Joe figures, but honestly not that much, and he looks like a big guy in armor, which works really well for the G.I. Joe scale. So I actually have these guys just sitting on the shelf with the rest of my Joes, and I kind of like the way it looks. But anyway, this gives you a good idea of what some of these World of Halo figures and, you know, vehicles are going to look like with your Joe collection. I think they work. They are slightly out of scale, but to me, as I said, not a deal breaker. I think it still works really, really well. And again, for the price that you can find these things for, you know, even up to $40 for the Warthog, try finding a, you know, G.I. Joe vehicle with that much detail, intact, complete, without missing missiles and guns and things like that for $40. You probably can't do it for something that can hold 3 figures easily. Just not going to happen. So even for $40, that's not a bad deal to add to your collection, especially something like this Mongoose, which I think regularly sells for $20, but of course I got it on sale for $8 because of Cyber Monday. Still at $20, that also for your G.I. Joe collection compared to other G.I. Joe vehicles is not a bad deal at all. So this might be something worth looking into if you're into G.I. Joes and looking to put together a pretty cool display. It definitely works for me. I'm glad I picked it up, and hopefully you'll be glad you picked it up too if you decide to go ahead and get it. So that is it, guys. Thanks for watching, and always remember to enjoy your collection.